Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, this is the 5th day of my California trip. Today is the day we actually make it to Folsom to see my sister and ultimately to see my mom. Now, I talked to my sister last night for a little while, and as of then, my mom has no idea this is happening. So this is going to be great. My sister was actually saying she had to really mind her tongue when she was talking to my mom to make sure she didn't let it slip. And I kind of relayed a little something where I had to do the same thing. Well, right when I was on the road yesterday, right before I hit Bakersfield, my mom called me. And she usually calls me on Sundays to chat, and my voice was gone on Sunday. So she called me yesterday, and she had actually two reasons. One, she just wanted to talk, but two, she had sent me a package a few days earlier, and she wanted to make sure I got it. And so that was a little bit awkward, because she said, well, I'll just sit and wait on the phone while you go out, because UPS says it's on the porch. So I'll just sit and wait on the phone while you go out and check it. So I did one of these for about 30 seconds on the phone. And then came back and said, yep, I got it. It's here, it's fine, it's safe. Thank you for sending it, all that fun stuff. But now I still got this problem. There's a package sitting on my porch that I don't really want to have sit there for the next 2 weeks until I get home. So turns out I had a fallback position. That fallback position is there's a company that I have that's coming in and taking care of the cats, and they're coming in every couple days just to check up on them. And they advertised initially in their website that in addition to taking care of your pets, they'd deal with other little tasks that came up. They'd bring in the mail, they'd bring in the newspaper, simple little things that need to be done while somebody's off on vacation. I sent them a text immediately and asked if it would be possible if they run over to the house and collect the package. And I got a response back really quickly, and the owner of the company said, yeah, that's no problem. I live in the area anyway. I'll just stop by right now and we'll get that taken care of. So about 10 minutes later, I got another text back with a photograph of the package sitting on my counter in my kitchen, and that is all secured. So anyway, we're gonna go check out some other things. My sister actually tutors in the afternoon. She won't be available until about 4 o'clock. So we're gonna try and keep ourselves occupied. I got about a 4-hour drive, and it's about 9 o'clock. So I got about 3 hours to kill. So we're gonna find some way to get ourselves in trouble on the way to Folsom, and then we're gonna finish up this trip. So let's go to Folsom. Now, I am gonna say this is a very nice hotel. I had no real problems here. The hotel was clean and pretty quiet. There was only one issue I really had, and it's right here against the freeway. So this is what I listened to all night. I think in the future, when I look for hotels for traveling, I'm going to try and find something that isn't right on the freeway. The freeway is, proximity to the freeway is really nice if you want easy on, easy off, but unfortunately it comes with a noise too. So, the hotel I stayed in last night in Williams, Arizona, was about a half mile off the road, and I think I'll try and, in the future, try and target places that are a little bit off the freeway just to keep the noise under control. Just kind of out here in the middle of nowhere. Alright, we're on a little bit of a search and destroy mission. Let me tell you what we're doing out here. This is an active oil well, and in about the 1970s, there was a local artist here who moved here with her husband to set up a little diner, and she saw one of these pumping oil well derricks along the side of the road. She asked the company if she could paint it to make look like an animal, and they let her do it. And it became actually really popular. And eventually she painted more and more and more of them. And they called this the Iron Zoo. And there were at its peak about 50 of these things out here, different animals. She sometimes put little attachments on the side of the thing to, simulate ears or whatever, and she painted them to look like these animals, and they called it the Iron Zoo. And it was actually very popular, got a lot of media attention. In fact, there were so many people out here that the corporate sponsors decided that there was like a legal liability, because this is actually an operating oil factory or an oil field here. So Most of the animals, my understanding, have either been moved or decommissioned, but supposedly there's a few of them out here. Now, I don't see any of them in the immediate area. This is the area where the map points to, but I don't see any of them in the immediate area. We're going to drive around and we're going to see if we can find a couple of these. There's supposedly a few left. Well, I've gone about as far as I'm willing to go on foot, and I don't see anything that looks like they're animals on this one. Like I said, they're spread around, and there's a whole bunch of oil pumps around here. So I'm going to drive around and see if I can find at least one of them. Maybe we can still salvage this one. I'm batting 1,000 on roadside attractions, aren't I? Alright, so I gave up on the first location and just started driving up the highway, and I said, oh, there's one. So yeah, here's one of the originals here. This is obviously a giraffe, and of course, you know how these things move. They go up and down like that when they're pumping, so it's going to look like the giraffe is tipping his neck down. And this is another one of those where they added some extra stuff. You can see they added ears. Looks like the ear came off on one side, but it's still on the other side. This one is not. Looks pretty dilapidated. But you gotta remember, this was done in the 70s, so this has been here since the 70s. Go take a look at the other side here. You gotta love how just some people look at the world and say, you know what, I want to make that a little different. I think there's a couple more in the area too, so I'm gonna go try and find them. Yeah, here's another one. This one's, I guess, supposed to be a rhino. Now, they didn't paint the whole body like they did on on the other one, but seems like the one common theme I've seen with all these that are decorated is that they're not running anymore. Or maybe they're just not running now. Maybe they've pumped their monthly allotment of oil and they get to take the rest of the month off. You think that's how it works? Yeah, me neither. Okay, I think there's at least one more in the area. Let's go find that. Alright, I'm on the other side of the road now, and I think that one close by there, I think that's one also, just because it looks like it's more elaborately decorated and painted than the rest of them. Most of them are like just a solid color, but that one's looks like it's green and yellow, so I don't know, we're going to check it out. Now honestly, it looks like this may have been one at one point, but it's a little bit more disassembled, I would say, than the others. Yeah, see, here's the head right here. So I wonder if that was supposed to be a snake. It looks like kind of the head of a snake, right? Put that on the end of that. So I don't know if this one broke or if they're in the process of taking it apart or moving it or what, but yeah, that's definitely a third one. Somebody wrote the chief on the side of it. It's just a regular pump on this side, but on the other side, yeah, I guess just the side that's facing the highway. Yeah, so that's either being decommissioned altogether, which, I mean, you know, it doesn't look like it's very good shape, so can't imagine probably that anybody's going to want to buy that. It's like, hey, I want to drill on my land. Let's get this piece. Yeah, this one looks pretty worn out. But I think this probably might have been the coolest one of all, you know, having this snake thing kind of look, you know, you get underneath it and it looks like it's striking at you. So as I've said before, sometimes these little excursions are just an opportunity to get out of the car and walk around a little bit. And this was a good opportunity for that because, I don't know, probably looking around between here and the other location, I probably walked more than a mile. So that's, you know, it's good to get the heart bumping, and now we're ready to get back in the car and drive a little bit more. Funny, the GPS is taking us through this little weird back road to get back to the highway. When we came in from the highway, it was just kind of a straight shot through, but I really love that it kind of took me through this little back way here. You see the highway we're looking to meet up with, but like having my own little private road back here. Now you know why they call this area the Grapevine. Guess you can get pistachios back here too. Maybe that's what they're growing on this side of the street. In case you ever wondered why they called California the Golden State. Alright, this is sort of an unplanned stop, but I saw a billboard along the highway about 100 miles back advertising this place, and I said, you know what, I gotta stop here. This has got some fun memories of mine from when I was a kid. When we were little, and whenever we would go on a big family vacation or something, and we'd pass by one of these Pea Soup Andersen places, when there were a couple of them at the time. There's this one kind of a little south of Sacramento, and there used to be also one on the way to San Diego. Well, whenever we would stop, come by one of these places, we'd always stop and get some split pea soup. And I really kind of credit this place with developing my love for split pea soup, because I still eat split pea soup today. And as you know, I've made it in the Instant Pot, so I figured, you know what, this is a great place to go. Now it's early afternoon, I had a really late breakfast, so I'm not going to actually have anything to eat here. But I remember last time I was here, they had kind of a fun little gift shop, and I'm sure we're going to buy some split pea soup. So let's go inside. So this is a place right here. It's right along the side of the 5 freeway. If you ever get a chance to check it out. And I always love this picture that was their logo. It was two guys, one guy holding what looks like a chisel, another guy with a hammer over his head, and they're splitting the peas one by one. And it's clear that the guy who's holding the chisel's been hit a few times, because he's got like band-aids on his face. It was always such a great image. And they even have one of these things. Oh, I guess that's right. The big one's called Hap Pea, and the little one's called Pea Wee. So they have one of these little things where you stick your head in and get that photo op. Yeah, see, they got all sorts of split pea soup for sale here, and they get them in cases too. And that was what I was thinking I was going to do, is probably buy a case or two of these things and give them out, because I know my sister likes them. I know my mom likes them. So, you know what? We'll probably do that. And of course they got some t-shirts that you can get, Pea Soup Andersen's, that classic logo. And they got all sorts of stuff here you wouldn't necessarily think to find at Pea Soup Andersen's. They got a definite mermaid thing going on here. This whole cabinet. I was almost thinking it looked like Disney stuff, but I don't remember any Disney mermaids having a dragon. You know, speaking of dragons, this whole cabinet's about dragons. Multiple levels here. Even these kind of troll-looking dragons. And I love spinny things like this. And some kind of fun little yard spikes. Supposed to get, oh, that's actually got a light in it. Is that solar powered? Yeah, it's solar powered. That's kind of neat. So have a lit up flower in your yard. That's kind of neat. And I guess if you want, you can buy your own split peas and make your own. It says soup in a bag. Take home the taste of our world famous pea soup. There you go. And who knew that Pea Soup Andersen had their own brands of hot sauce? Might have to try some of that too. All right, so I did pick up a few souvenirs. I got they got two different types of pea soup in the can, so I got a case of each. One of them is just a creamy pea soup. The other is their pea soup with bacon in it, and that sounds pretty good too. So, like I said, I got a dozen of each of them, and I'm gonna give them to my sister and my mom if they want some, and I'll take the rest of them home with me. I also picked out a couple of those hot sauces. I looked at the ones that I thought would be the hottest, and they had a habanero, and of course I've got experience with habanero peppers. And then they also had one that was a ghost pepper, and I mean, ghost pepper is allegedly the hottest pepper on the planet, so that'll probably be pretty good too. But anyway, I think next step now is we're going to head on up to Sacramento and meet up with my sister. All right, we are here. I just met my sister, and we're walking up to my mom's apartment right now. And according to all the best word is, my mom has no idea yet that this is coming. So here we go.
My gosh.
So this is where they got you holed up.
This has got me here. Oh my gosh.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Thank you
I told
for
you it was
coming.
going to be a good week.
I guess.
Go back up, Mom. We'll come in. Back
Yeah.
up. Okay, come in.
Unless you don't want me to come in, I'll just turn around and go back home.
Get a picture like that of me.
Oh, come on. My viewers have been following this for 5 days now.
Oh.
All right, so I've made it to my final destination. As you could see, my mom was very surprised and very happy to see me. We were actually expecting some tears, but we didn't get any of that. I guess she said she was just really kind of all in shock that it happened. Now, she said she kind of had an idea that something was up because my sister was being unusually and hyper nonverbal. You know, usually when they're talking about something coming up, my sister was being kind of cryptic with some of her messages. So she was wondering, if somebody was coming. She wasn't sure if it was her brother, if it was me or someone, but whatever. We got here, we made contact, and she was actually very, very happy to see me. So we've achieved our goal. We are here in Sacramento at my sister's house, and her dog just came in to visit, and so he's gonna be staying a little bit here, but I think that is all that I have for today. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.